So everyone's going to have conflicts from time to time. There's not requirements that you ever come to class. Again, this is your learning experience. You pay the money, you make of it what you want. But I will record every session. And so if you do have to miss one, you can always watch the video. So don't worry about it. I'll just send them out after every class anyway. And if you want to review, you'll have them there. It's your class, it's your material. All right, so far y'all have just been too easy. Fridays at 6, is that good, or would you like it later?
Good.
This is good for me.
This is good.
I was going to ask for 6:37, but
Yeah, I'm thinking about 6:30 myself.
I'm a broker, and I want to make sure that I'm not cutting my day too short, because I usually cold call between 4 and 7 p.m.
All right, is 6:30 good? And anyone not good with Fridays at 6:30? Perfect. Friday at 6:30. I will set up a standing link and send it out when I send out the revised syllabus. And you can use that link every single Friday. So keep it. Don't make me send it out every week, because that's gonna annoy me.
I was going to say, can you just send a series calendar invite with the Zoom link in it? There's a way to do that in Zoom.
Yeah.
I can walk you through it if you don't know how.
Okay. All right. So next also is going to go to my technical. I'm good at real estate. I'm not good at tech. So.
Well, I'm good at tech. I used to work at Cisco. So.
Good. I'm just fine. Okay. So next, how do you guys prefer to communicate? In classes I've had before, WhatsApp has worked really well for a group chat. Is that good, or does anyone have a better suggestion?
I prefer not to use WhatsApp if
Prefer not to
possible.
use WhatsApp?
Just against that app. in
Okay.
general.
A lot of communications we use.
It wants too many permissions.
Yeah.
We can use Telegram.
What do y'all like as an alternate? I hear Telegram. I don't know
What
anything.
about, does anybody have any problems with GroupMe?
I like
I'm familiar
GroupMe.
with that one.
I like
It's very similar to WhatsApp.
Okay.
It's very
Is anybody
similar.
familiar with Slack?
Yes, I'm
What
familiar.
about what if we formed a Facebook group and used Facebook Messenger? Is anybody not on Facebook?
Yeah, I think Facebook will be good.
You can
That'll
create a
work.
group chat. You can create a group chat in Facebook Messenger easily, and I have that and I trust it.
Okay, so let me just say this. I'm first of all, I'm fine with whatever y'all decide. And I've used Facebook Messenger a lot. I've used Slack. I've used WhatsApp. The only thing I will say is in some apps, and I don't know that this is true for Facebook Messenger, some of these chats are going to get really long, and there's going to be documents and stuff like that. Like with WhatsApp, you can search and you can sort of organize it. And I'm not sure you can do that in Facebook. Are you guys okay with it? You know, if you're trying to go back and find something, it might be kind of cumbersome.
You
If we
could do
create
that
a
with
Facebook
Facebook
group,
Messenger. You can go back
we
and
can-
find something.
Well, what about, since we're all on Zoom, what about using the Zoom chat? All you have to do is install the Zoom app and you have a chat function built into it.
Yeah, but then that's not a running chat. So what I'm looking for is a messaging app that will last this whole class.
I use Slack for 2 mastermind groups and my union that I work for. And
I'm willing to try Slack. I've been wanting to try it anyway.
Okay. So, all right.
How's
is
Slack
everybody-
it is.
Slack it is. All right, I will set that up.
I got a
Slack.
question.
Yep.
I don't have Slack. I'm pretty sure I can download. Is that an app?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can download it on desktop and your phone. I don't have it on my phone, but I use my Rotary Club uses it. I use it for a few things.
It's an app that's comparable to like WebEx, Teams, Zoom, chat, except it's a preserved chat.
Okay. SLACK. Am I correct? This is correct.
SLACK. That's correct. Just Google it and you'll find it real quick.
All right.
Is it free or does it cost? I can't remember.
It's free.
it's free.
Yeah, I don't want y'all to have to pay for anything. All right, so let's have everybody maybe sort of familiarize yourself with that. I'll send out, you'll get an invite so you can join it and play around with it if you need to get used to it. And that, I think that'll be good. All right, so we're Fridays at 6:30. We're on Slack. I am going to send out a revised syllabus. I'll also put it in Slack because I need some practice with that.
How long do we budget for the meeting?
What do y'all think? An hour?
That's
Hour
good.
and a half at the
Start
most.
with, maybe, can we be flexible, like, run long if we have to or something?
I tell you what, I'm in favor of being totally flexible with this, because I'd rather say it's at 6:30 and it'll last until it's over. You know, if it goes long, we're gonna stay. If you need to leave, that's fine too. You can read the recording. So we'll just say an hour, but we're gonna stay until everybody's
Everybody's comfortable and happy. Yeah.
comfortable and happy. Exactly. If that's cool with y'all, that's cool with me.
Yep, sounds good.
All
That's
right.
good.
So we have our meeting date. We have our syllabus. Is Patrick on here? No, he's not. Okay. Well, we have almost everybody. We're missing 2 people. Patrick and I'm not sure who else. All right, so that sort of takes care of our administrative things. Do you guys want to discuss anything else? Do you, just for those of you who joined late, I will say again that my goal for this class is for everyone to get out of it what they want. So I don't want, if there's 5 people in this class who are bringing us all of our leads, I don't want anyone else griping about that, because here's the deal. Everyone paid $500 for this class, the exact same. If someone paid their money and they just want to sit and watch and learn that way, more power to them. I believe you will learn a lot more and get a lot more out of it if you go out there and do this. But that's just my opinion. I'm not here to make anyone do anything. So we're all going to do our own thing. After the first class, you will have the contract. You have a contract in your hand and you will know how to use it. So after the first class, which will be next Friday, as long as everyone's okay with that, then you all are free to go out there and start looking for deals. And I realize we won't have covered how to talk to sellers yet, and it'll be a couple more classes before we do that. So you're also welcome to wait. Whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. I was gonna have Nate say a few words, because Nate was telling me the other night, he was on a networking meeting and we were sort of hanging out in a room together, and he was telling me what he's doing. So Nate, you want to tell people what you've been doing?
Yeah, sure. I haven't wholesaled any properties yet, had success in that sense, but I've been calling a lot of potential leads. I've been riding my bike around Raleigh and Durham and just taking down addresses, and then skip tracing the numbers and calling people.
That's what I do. I do the
yeah.
same thing.
Have you had any success with it yet?
He's on his bicycle,
Yeah.
Mike.
Not yet.
Biking.
I'm in a car, but I was going to recommend an app to you. So there's a couple apps out there that are really good and oriented towards wholesalers. One of them is Deal Machine.
Yeah.
But if you want to go on a budget like me, the best one out there is Land Glide.
Yeah, I just heard about that.
You drive, you put a map marker, it pulls up the owner information, and then you go take that and you skip trace. And the cheapest skip tracing out there is batch skip tracing.
What is it called?
There's actually batch skip tracing I was looking into. There's actually, you can go on Fiverr.com, and there's people in like Bangladesh and stuff, and they'll do like 100 leads for you for $5.
Yeah, the only gotcha there is you need to make sure they're using a LexisNexis skip tracing. Otherwise,
Oh,
they're going
really?
to give you crap information.
Okay, yeah. I think the one that I recently did was like, I forget what it was. It was like Text CO, or I don't remember. But he said he had like some software he was paying for. But I'll look into that next time. That's a good idea.
I've got a guy, fiber light guy, pinging me on Facebook right now, Messenger or Instagram. I'm sorry, every other day, saying I'll do skip traces for you for 3 cents, and I'm like, that's probably not
Suspect.
LexisNexis.
That's
And I'm like, 3 cents a lead, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
probably not LexisNexis, but 3 cents is about what I pay with batch.
Oh,
That's
okay.
tempting though. That's tempting.
Don't you need a certain number for batch skip tracing? Like you need like a couple thousand leads or something you can know?
No, well, so I get a discount because of a mentoring program I'm in. So I
Oh, got you. Yeah.
can't share that out, unfortunately.
Shoot to the A5.
I think
You could do a small batch in for batch skip tracing. You can do a small list. REIskip.com. You could do single searches. And I think like a single search is like 15 cents a search. You know, the more searches you're doing, the less it's gonna cost. You know, if you're doing like single ones, it might get a little bit more expensive. That app Deal Machine, it'll skip trace for you too, but I think it charges you, I think $1.
Yeah, it's like 50
for-
bucks a month or something.
So I'm
Yeah.
a student of Vina. Let me ping Vina. She has one that she recommended to me once, and I think it runs like, I want to say it's like 30, 35 bucks a month. And you get so many per month that you can do. And I want to say it's like a couple of thousand or something. It's pretty decent number for that price. Let me ping her and I'll see if I can find that out. And if I can, I'll share it out to the group.
What were y'all
That'd be
talking about? Were you
awesome.
talking about fiber? What's fiber? Is it fiber?
Fiverr.com. Yeah.
Fiverr, it's
It's
a,
a
Fiverr.
freelancing website.
it's a website where you can hire people from all over the world to do anything from graphic design to skip trace and
Oh, awesome.
I use Fiverr a lot. Like that logo that you see behind me, that was a Fiverr guy designed that for me. And I also use it for whenever I need spreadsheet work because I hate Excel. I just don't, that's like, it's almost like I was a network engineer for years and years and years, and coding made me want to throw up in my mouth. Excel to me is kind of like coding. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our meeting time, we've got our administrative portal, and we can, and once that's set up too, we can put all these in there. So now let's just talk about a sort of bigger overall picture of the class. The end goal is that this class will get under contract and wholesale one property. That will have achieved our goal. However, could we also get under contract and wholesale 5 properties? Yes, 10. I don't care. We're gonna
20.
definitely do one. If we want to do 20, that's fine. Now, here's the rule: the first property you bring in belongs to the class. It's a group experience. If you bring a lead and we work that lead, then once we get one deal done, if you want to bring a deal and the class is still going on, we will help you work your deal for you. Okay, but the first one from each of you goes to the group. That's not saying we're going to end up doing one from each, because they're not all going to work out. Only maybe one will work out. But once you've met that requirement of bringing the one and we get one deal, this class gets a deal that's going to go through. As long as this class is still going on, we'll work your deals for you as well. Now, I don't want to build too great of expectations. This is not a mentorship. A mentorship, as Mike Wall will tell you, it's going to cost you way more than $500. You can get a TRIA mentorship for $10,000. You can go get a Fortune Builders mentorship for $30,000. You can go
36, I think is Fortune Builders.
they've raised their prices. Okay. You can go out and get one of those Chip and Joanna Gaines ones for $50,000. You can get mentorships if you want, someone to walk with you for a specified period of time and hold your hand and do your deals. There are mentorships out there. That is not what this class is. You're never going to find that for $500. This class, the deals belong to the class. Like I said, if the class gets their deal and it's still going on and we have time, I will be more than happy to help you do a deal for yourself too, but you have to meet that requirement for the class first. Is that clear? Everyone good with that? Any questions? Okay.
Clear.
All right, fair. That's all I really wanted to go over. I will send out a sort of rules or thing for you guys to sign. I will send out the revised syllabus and I will get the Slack thing in order. Do you guys want to sort of go around and introduce yourselves? You know what? I'll start. I always dumbly assume everyone knows me, but you know what? The other day, Bianca, look at my name, TRIA Association, right? How dumb is that? That's not my name. So I'm on every single meeting and I don't even bother to introduce myself. And then the other day, Bianca asked Leslie, because I introduced everybody else. I'm like, oh, here's Leslie, here's Jackie. And then Bianca asked Leslie to refer her to an attorney. I don't even say I'm an attorney. And then Leslie referred her to me, and Bianca emailed me and said, oh my God, I didn't even realize that was you. So I need
He
to
said our Kathy Russell. I'm like, I don't know, ours, who's ours?
So I'm Kathy Russell. I changed my name for you there. I'm an attorney. But this year I'm the president of TRIA, and I do cater to investors and creative deals. Pretty much, if you have a deal, I've probably seen it. I probably shouldn't say that because then you'll find me one I didn't. But there's almost nothing. I've been doing it since 1994, however long that is, too long. So there's not much I haven't seen or figured out. If I can't figure out a way to do it, I would bet that most nobody could. Maybe Vina. I'll tell you what, that chick is Vina or Pete Fortunato. There's some of the two most creative people I know. But anyway, for what you got in North Carolina, I can probably figure it out. Do you want to guys just go down and introduce yourselves? I'll read your names as I see them in order. So I see Reginald next.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm Reginald Roundtree. Me and my wife, Tamika Roundtree, we've been trying to get in the wholesaler for the longest. She wanted me to take, both of us wanted to take this class. She's with the kids. I decided I'll be the one who actually be hands-on with the class, and we're hoping to get a lot of information out of it, start wholesaling more sooner than later, and, just see where it goes.
Yay. Okay, that brings up a good point. Reginald, thank you for saying that. You pay tuition, that's for one person to attend this class. However, for each of you, if you can't make a class, you are allowed to have a substitute. You don't have to. But again, you can always have the recording. But Reginald, if there's some time you can't come, Tamika wants to sit in, that is fine. It's a one-person tuition, but you can have it by representation if you want. Up to you. Thank you. Thanks
Ooh,
for
cool.
reminding me about that. Okay, the next one I see is Eric Edwards.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Eric Edwards. Similar to Reginald, me and my wife are just getting started into real estate investing, and this prep wholesale class seemed very interesting, so want to learn more about it.
Welcome. It's good to have you here. Nate.
Hey, everybody, I'm Nate. Haven't done a deal yet, but been trying really hard. Rode around today, talked to some people. I didn't get a wholesale deal today, but I did just talk to somebody who wants help demoing their house. So I think I'm going to go do that next weekend and learn a little bit more. Yep.
Awesome, Nate. Okay, so that reminds me of a point too. When Nate was telling me this the other night about his bicycling around, because I do the same thing too, only in my car, because I'm way too old to do what you do. What I reminded Nate is every single person that he contacts, or any of you contact right now, is a potential future deal. Even if they tell you no, do not throw away any leads. Get yourself something to keep them, get a spreadsheet. If they tell you no, call them back in 2 months and see if they've changed their mind. If they're maybe, have a little schedule for yourself. If they're a maybe, call them back in 2 weeks. If they're a no 2 or 3 times in a row, put them on a 6 month. Send them a postcard once a year. Keep in their mind, every single person you touch now is a potential lead in the future. That was point number one. Something else. Oh, something else Nate said. So he didn't get a wholesale deal, but someone wants him to help demo a house. You know what? That person eventually is going to give Nate another lead.
Yep.
I tell you, you talk about what you do everywhere you go. I've been in line at Lowe's coming from my house. I was all paint stained. And someone asked me, oh my God, what have you been doing? And I said, this is what I do. They asked me for a card, and lo and behold, that person sent me a house that I bought later. Is always be telling people what you do, and let that Nate getting out there and making those connections he's doing. I guarantee you that guy he helps demo that house, there's a very good chance somewhere down the road that could lead him to a deal, because that guy's going to appreciate him. He's going to tell other people about him. And someday his friend's going to say, I want to sell this house. And he's going to go, I know this guy, Nate. So good point. Next I have is William.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. How you doing, everybody? I'm William Bright. I'm new to this game. Just trying to learn the ins and outs of wholesaling, and eventually want to start flipping and buying and holding and rentals. I just want to learn everything that I can in this game.
Great. Brings me to another good point. A lot of people start out wholesaling. Some people keep wholesale. Some people love it. I have clients who do nothing but wholesale, and they might only make $5,000 on a deal, but they're rolling them all the time, and they're perfectly happy. Perfectly happy. Sometimes other people use it as a stepping stone to build up a little nest egg, and then they get. I have a client from probably 20 years ago who started out as a wholesaler, step by step worked his way up, and now that person is developing subdivision. So the sky's the limit. Anyway, thank you, William. Jamal is who I have next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jamal Henson. I've been a TRIA member for a few years now. And now I'm finally starting to get my wheels turning, and I really want to learn everything about real estate investing, starting from wholesaling. I really want to get into doing fix and flips and using a BRRRR strategy to fix and flip houses and then use them as rentals and then refinance and things like that. So I'm here to learn, and I'm here to, try my hand at wholesaling and see how that goes. So it's nice meeting everyone.
That's great.
Likewise.
Same here.
That's my favorite thing to do too, is buy them, fix them up, refinance them, repeat. That's a good goal. Okay, Bianca.
Yeah, we kind of, a little bit of everybody. We fell in by accident and bought 2 properties to rent. So we're in a process renovating one ourselves, renovating one with a contractor. And so it became a little addictive. We want to do more. So I want to wholesale to BRRRR. And then if it doesn't work for us, then, move it along and sell it to somebody else. I'm not sure we're going to flip, but definitely to BRRRR and wholesale. And learning every day. I mean, like literally, we just jump with both feet, knowing absolutely nothing and making mistakes and learning from them.
That's the way you got to do it. One thing that we won't get into too much in this class, but we will a little bit when we get into exit strategies. But I always like to tell investors and my mentorship clients is that consider everything a tool in your tool belt. So I'm just going to take an example. This is something we will not talk about in this class, but subject to transactions. Those things
like
they're not for every deal and they're not for everyone. But you know what? Everyone should know about them, because if you say, I never want to do a subject to, but maybe someday you come across a property that you just can't make work. Maybe they're upside down or for whatever reason. And who wants to let any property go? So you say, you know what? Maybe I could make this work as a subject to deal. So I like what Bianca just said, and well, what most of you have said, honestly, that I just want to learn everything. That's great, because even if you never do it, they're all tools in your tool belt. And when you come across a deal someday that isn't quite so easy to put together, you'll think back. And by the way, I'm here as a substitute for that. And this isn't relative to this class really, but anyone, if you have your own attorney, or you can use me, or you can probably use anyone on the TRIA board. If you do come across a deal that seems, you can't figure out how to work it out, ask someone, and they'll guarantee you they'll probably come up with a way. But as you get more and more experienced, all of these methods will be tools in your tool belt, and eventually you'll be able to figure it out. You go, oh yeah, I know how to do that. So again, that's really going to be beyond the scope of this class. A little bit when we get into exit strategies, those will be tools, because you'll have learn different ways to exit. But some of that other stuff we won't get into. Okay, I have James next.
Hello, TRIA family. I'm James Clark. I've been a TRIA member for about a year. I'm an old rookie. Started back in 2012. Grandfather deeded me a house, rented that out. Shortly after that, bought a fourplex when prices were dirt cheap. Renovated that, rented it, and that's been flowing well for the past couple of years in South Carolina. I was in California, moved here, picked up a rental with a VA loan. Was a house then I moved and got another VA loan, so I rent that one out, and a house hack. So just want to build up the cash reserves a little bit to move on up to a larger property in a nice area. And the whole thing is just finding deals. And wholesalers are great at finding deals and learning how to analyze properties a little bit better, and just use that as a stepping stone on the bigger and better things. Definitely hoping to bring a couple of deals to the class and learn a lot and then network a lot. So
Maybe we could, and maybe we could have a contest eventually. That's something we'll think about. In case any of y'all are wondering about that airplane behind James, he's also an air traffic controller. And if you're talking about, and I didn't know James, but he made one of our new member spotlights for us that we played at meetings. And in that, he said, "Hello, Tria family." And like, I just fell in love with that. I just think that's something that sticks in my mind, and I think sticks in everybody's mind. It just makes us feel like a family. So that's very cool. And I always remember that about James. And first thing I said when I met him at the Unbus tour is, "Tria family." Okay, April is who I have next. Oh.
I'm originally from Kentucky, and I moved here about 20 years ago. I own ALW Investments, and as you can tell, I'm not from here. You can tell by my accent. So
Yeah, you actually sound like you're from here if you're a native. I'm a native.
Yeah, I know. I've tried to get better with the accent, but it's just not left me yet. So
no, don't do that.
But I recently, about a year ago, moved to Wilmington to get into real estate. And so I started my business back in August of last year. And so that's what I want to do, is like more hands-on training with this class. So I'm really looking forward to it. And if I had any advice to give from what I've learned so far, is to network. First impressions are huge in this business, and good business ethics, because word of mouth does go around.
Yep. Your reputation precedes you.
Great advice. A couple things about April. Number one, there's a Wilmington RIA that sort of when the pandemic hit, they stopped having their meetings, and they didn't quite get on Zoom like we were able to. So we reached out to them and offered their members a 6-month membership to sort of help them, and that's how April came to us. But luckily we're lucky she did, because she's been so active and involved, and now we're starting a Wilmington subgroup. Karen Lewis, our board member, also lives in Wilmington, and April's helping her greatly with that. And two of our people on this call, April and James, are going to do our vendor coordinator. So they're going to get our new vendor coordinator program going and bring in vendors. So that's awesome. And actually, they're really waiting on me, because I'm supposed to be drafting a contract for them, and I've had not time. So, but anyway, we're very lucky to have those. And I just realized they're both in this class. That's super cool. Okay, thank you, April. Kanika, you're next for me.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kanika Weeks. So I am on my 2nd year of being a TRIA member, but kind of been dragging my feet this year during the pandemic. Last year and this year in the pandemic, have had an opportunity to attend more of the meetings. So really just trying to get acclimated. I'm new to investing, so dittoing everything everyone said about learning the ins and out of different structures. So I'm excited to be a part of the class to learn some hands-on experience with wholesaling.
We are very happy to have you here, and I know you come to a lot of meetings, so welcome. Judith is next on my list.
That's what Judith is more my official name. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can now.
Oh, yeah, I'm having some difficulties here, but I started my real estate about a year ago. I still have that mentorship going with Fortune Builders, but I wanted to be involved with a local group. I've been a part of TRIA for the past 1 year, and so I wanted to be more hands-on with a local group. So that's why I joined this and hope to learn more about wholesaling. That's what I want holds down the road. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm originally from Kenya, hence the accent. Yeah.
We're happy to have you here, Judith. Thank you. Oh, wait, did you say you prefer?
So I'm happy to be here. Nice meeting you.
Did you say you preferred to be called something different? I missed that.
I'm sorry?
Did you say you preferred to be called something different? I missed that.
Judy, Judy.
Judy, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I go by.
Got it. Okay, Jermaine, you're coming up next on my screen.
Hello, good evening, everyone. How you doing?
Hello.
I'm Jermaine, last name Artist.
Hi.
I kind of got into real estate, came into it maybe about a year ago, but my way of coming into it is usually what people would consider backward. I came in learning about the creative financing game other than wholesaling. So I mainly joined the group because I just wanted to kind of be interactive and network with people that were wholesaling, and just go through a process with other people for once. And like you stated earlier, Kathy, so my intention is to mainly market like I'm a wholesaler, and for those deals that don't work out through wholesaling, find other creative strategies to make them work.
Okay, two things about you, Jermaine. Number one, I'm going to take a wild guess and say Jermaine's the youngest person in, well, wait, maybe Nate.
I'm 27.
I'm 39.
Oh, no way. Oh my God. Okay, Nate, you're the youngest. My bad. You look like you're about
No,
50.
thank you. I'll take the compliment. I'll take the compliment.
Dude, that's the problem about getting old. Everybody looks young. Okay, the second thing is, Jermaine, because two other people have mentioned their accents. Do I hear a little accent there with you too?
Yeah, I'm originally from New York, but I've been in North Carolina for
Okay, that's what I
over
was.
20 years.
It's a New York accent. Yeah, you haven't lost it, let me tell you. Thank you. Welcome. God, I can't believe you're 39. No way. You're 39?
39.
Jesus. Okay. Anthony, you're next on my list.
Hello, everybody. I'm a licensed contractor and realtor. I've been in real estate for maybe about 10 years now, probably a little bit more longer than that. I've done a couple wholesale deals. I've flipped several houses, and I provide these services throughout the years for investors and homeowners. I mainly joined the group to see if I get any refresher, any updates, learn something new, and to also network with others doing wholesaling as well.
For any of you who are on the Unbus tour, you might remember Anthony had the beautiful property on Floodworth.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
Beautiful property for sure.
Thank you.
Quite nice. Okay, Mike Wall, you're next for me.
Hey, y'all, Mike Wall. And I do have a Southern accent. I grew up in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. I'm a rare native when it was still tiny. There was a time when Fuquay was actually bigger than Cary, believe it or not. And I lived through that time. But long story short, I worked as a network engineer for 21 years at Cisco Systems. Cisco got to where they were doing layoffs twice a year. And I found out I was not going to get laid off, but they offered an early retirement option where they gave me a nice big fat severance if I would opt for it. So I took it because I figured it's not a matter of if I was going to get laid off, but when eventually. And they've only ever done that once before. And that gave me some runway to start going real estate full time. And that was the other thing I found. I would put in 70 hours a week at Cisco. And at the end of the day, I just didn't have any energy left to do the stuff I wanted to do for real estate. And I just love real estate. I would be at Cisco talking about real estate to everybody I knew all the time. I've been in TRIA since 2014. I led the new investors group and at the time had never done a deal, but I just love real estate. Chuck Jurgens is one of my big mentors. I mean, I've met with Kathy once or twice in my lifetime here. And the long and short of it is I wanted to go full time. So I do have a couple of mentors. Vina's one of my mentors. Brent Daniels, which his program is called TTP. That's Talk to People. So that's where I got into the cold calling thing. And I also got my broker's license literally less than a month ago. And part of that is because there is a trend going on across the U.S. where some states are starting to require broker's license for wholesalers. And I just figured I'd get in front of that bus instead of getting run over it. But that's where I'm at. I wanted to be in this group to kind of have my hand held through a wholesale deal. I'm not afraid to get on the phone and call people. I love it. In fact, it's actually one of the funnest things I do. And let's crush it. Let's get us 20 deals. Forget one.
Right on.
I remember when you led the new investors, I think, weren't you the one who put that program in place where you had like a 5 or 6 part series, you would run it over and over again and you'd bring in like, because I used to come in and talk.
Yep.
And then
I did. And we managed to add on like 400 members that year.
Yeah, that's when we really grew. And I thought that was you because I remember
That was me.
I would come in and be your
But
attorney.
the worst part was I couldn't get past Cisco to go do a deal, and it was terrible. I was like, all right, when Cisco said, here's your, I literally got promoted into leadership the same day I got offered early retirement. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm just done.
Good for you, man. God,
Yeah.
That's a scary thing to do. So hats off to you. That's great.
Right. Well, so my goal though is wholesaling and work as a broker to build cash to rehab. I ultimately want to do rehabbing because it's kind of a creative outlet. And I want to do it with no money, no loans. I'm a Dave Ramsey guy. I'm becoming a Dave Ramsey certified financial coach. I'm kind of risk averse and debt averse. And so my whole goal with wholesaling is to build up enough cash I can go buy and do a rehab from beginning to end without borrowing any money.
That's a great goal. I would like to be there myself. But that hard money to do a rehab is blah.
Well, my grandfather was a multimillionaire from real estate, and he always told me, he says, if you own it free and clear, you can go flip burgers and pay the property tax.
That's the truth. And not only that, you can rent it out and someone else will pay for it for you. Okay, Donna Kennard, you're next on my list. You there, Donna?
Put something in the chat, Kathy.
Donna says, my mic and video isn't working and don't want to play with it until after the class. I can hear you. I'm an investor, but have never wholesaled. My husband and I would like to start. What material do you recommend for us to read between classes? Oh, that's a really good question, Donna. I'll have to think about that and get you some recommendations. But I'm sorry you're having technical difficulties, but no problem. We understand. Thank you for being here. Sheila, that is last, but certainly not least.
Okay, I can't really talk right now either.
Okay.
I'm at a location where I can't talk.
It's okay. You don't have to. You can give us a little intro next time. No problem. Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk about, do, accomplish tonight before we leave?
I was just going to throw out a resource for Donna, Bigger Pockets.
Bigger Pocket. Oh yeah, that's always a great one. Bigger Pockets.
Bigger Pockets is free, and you can learn a crap ton about wholesaling just by reading Bigger Pockets all day long.
Yeah.
I was wondering if anybody has a good app for, I know Deal Machine does this where you can like drive around and it'll like have a little line where it like follows you so you don't go over the same place twice. I downloaded a thing called My Tracks, which was like $5 instead of $50 a month, and was hoping that would do it, but it doesn't really do it. I was wondering if there was an app anybody knows.
I'll put it in the chat. Landglide.
Does Landglide does do that?
I didn't really pay much attention to whether it did or not because that wasn't important to me. But
Okay.
It's like Deal Machine, but $10 a month instead of 15.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll check that one
And
out.
in
Then.
terms of the data it gives you, it's like Deal Machine. It's not as robust. It doesn't have as many features as Deal Machine. But for
Yeah.
$10 a month, who gives a crap?
I listened to the real estate rookie episode where they mentioned that. Is that the one that they use for like hunting or something, or is that something completely different?
Nah, that's something else, I think. But Landglide, so being with Brent Daniels, his whole thing is talk to people, cold call for wholesale.
Yeah.
Everybody who starts, he recommends Deal Machine. I'm sure he probably gets a little cut from that, but everybody in there started saying Landglide, and I started using it, and it's $10 a month.
Cool. I'll check that one out then.
Hey, guys.
Worst case scenario, if you're really hard up for cash, go donate some plasma and get Landglide.
Very true.
When I set up
And I'm saying that having done it in college. So.
When I set up the Slack, I'll make a folder, just call it Tech Talk or something. And then if everyone wants to discuss these kind of things, we'll put them in there. That'd be a really great resource as well.
For sure.
All right. If anybody has any prop stream questions, just let me know.
What questions did you say?
If anybody has any questions about prop stream, just let me know.
Perfect, thank you.
Prop stream, you just kind of like input your criteria and then it'll like shoot out some leads for you, right? Is that what
Yeah,
it
you
is?
can.
I've never
Yeah,
used
but you
it.
can also run comps and prop stream, and it's pretty comparable to MLS.
Yes, it's really, really accurate.
Cool.
Okay, Donna has a very good question. Are we all meeting in person anytime? But I am more than willing to do that, depending on how you guys feel about it.
I would prefer that. I'm more hands-on
I'm okay
myself.
with meeting
No,
in
Danielle
person.
text me something.
I don't mind meeting in person.
I'd love to meet in person.
I'd like to.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Okay, so, well, let's think about when that would make sense. I think certainly maybe when we're talking about ways to find property, that might make sense. But do you think it might make sense next Friday when we're talking about contracts?
No, I'm not here.
Okay.
I'm gonna be driving.
All right. We will keep next Friday on Zoom. And then we'll discuss it again next Friday. We'll see what makes sense. I'm more
Thank
than
you.
willing to do that.
Actually, if you're gonna do contracts, in particular, I would actually rather that be over Zoom.
I think that's right, because you can I can send it to you all in advance. You can all pull it up on your computer and fill it out as we go along. So
Well, plus you can share on the screen and we're recording it. So then if I can't remember something, I can go back and review.
yeah, I agree. Okay. So we'll figure out, we'll meet in person under these conditions when it makes sense and when everybody is as comfortable with it. Because what I'm not going to do is try to figure out how to meet in person and Zoom it. Seems like a huge pain in the ass to me, and I don't want to have to deal with it. So it's going to be one or the other. So when we do meet in person, we won't be able to record that. Keeping that in mind, you guys look over the syllabus when you get it. And next week, we'll talk about what you think makes sense. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Kathy, if we can get a few days in advance, I've already checked on some Airbnbs because I'd really like to be in on that too.
Oh, April, absolutely. So you're gonna have at least a week in advance. So we'll talk about it next Friday, and I'll guarantee you we won't do it unless we plan it the meeting before.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, don't kill it yet, Kathy. Everybody's popping their phone number in the chat, and I want to get them down and get them in my contacts, and I'm not that fast.
We can all put them in Slack too. I mean, that's gonna be more permanent, and you won't have to worry about writing them down.
Yeah,
That would be better.
It's that new shit. Oh.
Yeah, I tell you what, just ping it to me on Slack.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll get, you know what? I'll close the meeting out and I'll go set up the Slack right now and send you all invites so you can do it while it's fresh in your mind. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all
Nice
so
meeting
much.
y'all. Nice meeting everyone.
Thank
Same
you.
here.
Good meeting you.
Look forward to it.
Everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right.
All right.